and just trying to get over. I don't know, overexcited potentially. They might just get overexcited and just want to try to secure and build a lead early on. So
they are what we call combat maniacs. It's okay.
Yeah. So we are in the game. Let's make sure we got. It's the wrong one. There we go. Lovely. Excellent.
Should work well enough.
Welcome to Summoner's
I'm gonna be
Rift.
honest, it's been a while. I kind of forgot what I was doing.
No, you're all right. I appreciate it.
But this is gonna be a very
30
interesting
seconds
game.
until minions spawn.
Both sides are definitely gonna need heal cuts for their teams. They have so much healings in their kit. Healing.
That is interesting. Why the early channel? Trolls? Just for lulz? What's going on there?
A common strategy for junglers is, since they're the ones that mainly take care of vision because they move around the map most often, they place a ward before jungle camps spawn and minions come to the waves, so they can swap out into a red ward, so they don't have to do another back before they can start clearing out vision.
I understand. Gotcha. Okay.
Although they did do it relatively easy, so they're just probably going to sit there for like another 20 to 30 seconds, just wait for the game to actually start.
Sweet. Love to watch characters emote.
Cool.
Cool. Really cool. Jokes.
No, really.
No, really. You're right. If at some point someone would be so kind to comment on the audio mix thus far between the balance of Quentin and I's voice and then the in-game volume, that would be most excellent, and I would be forever grateful.
I can get significantly louder. Tucker's only holding me back. But a Brawl Fest is already breaking out in the top lane. Miss Engineer missing the Q might just die here, I'm gonna be honest. Things are getting very dangerous up there already. But as I said early on, Aatrox is definitely gonna have that advantage in top lane. And since their top lane and mid lane both lost getting level 2 first, they're going to probably be playing at a slower tempo here.
For sure.
However, Aatrox did flash and Miss Engineer does get out. It looks like Shadekeeper is pathing top lane, but Miss Engineer still doesn't have that level 2 available yet, which might make this very interesting trying to survive and catch those waves. And it looks like bot lane is putting down that pressure against Elf George, taking advantage of the fact that Yuumi isn't a champion.
No shade though, coming from our good friend Quentin. Wow,
and it looks like Marmalade might get the first kill of the game unless Lissandra lives with literally 3 HP.
I do question that. Was that just no need to dive under tower there and just didn't want to risk?
Well, the thing is, Lissandra also had Ignite and Flash up, so if the play backfired, Marmalade would be down on summoners and then killed XP and gold.
I understand. Okay.
I think he's playing with a wee bit of caution this game.
Fair play. I don't mind it. I mean, I do.
Where's the blood?
Yep.
But it looks like bot lane has already gotten a plate. My prediction of it being a slugfest has been rather off, and it looks like jungles are avoiding each other at the moment.
Okay.
So it looks like Miss Engineer is going to have to be careful of the Briar coming up because Diego is heading to bottom river for that Skullcraft.
Here's what I'll do. Thank you, High Rate, by the way. I'm gonna turn up Quentin just a touch, and then I'll turn down a wee bit.
Hopefully that works out a little bit better. Now I can drown you out even more. But it looks like things have calmed down just a little bit since the initial slugfest. Top lane is going relatively calm, although Miss Engineer is very low on mana. And is about to get ganked. They need to get out of there immediately. Has their channel ruined by the Briar stun and gives first blood to Albertus Magnus.
Yeah,
I am so sorry.
Is anyone going to be offended if we call him Albert?
They're fighting Team Albert.
No, actually, really well played.
Yeah, absolutely.
for the early gank and to stop the channel.
And right when Miss Engineer runs out of mana so they can't reactivate their shield, get double their HP back was very, very well timed.
Yeah.
However, Miss Engineer did have plenty of time while the Briar was on Scuttle Crab to be aware of what was happening. So maybe they weren't paying as much attention to the map as they should have. But it looks like Marmalade's going to go in for another fight here, deal a fair bit of damage to Lysandra, just back off. And it looks like Miss Engineer is back into the brawl.
Taking it personally, I don't mind it.
Oh, absolutely. They're coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, fair play.
Bot lane is kind of just farming down there at the moment, trying to get advantage through tower plates early. And Marmalade slowly but surely getting the HP down on Lysandra.
Oh, and level advantage right now.
And in
To
top
top
lane, Aatrox hit 6, immediately ulted, and really didn't get any use out of it. If bot lane getting ganked by Briar. I don't see them getting out of here, but they might. Does get out of here.
Well done.
And the Yumi goes down.
Wow, really well played.
In top lane, though, it's also going quite poorly. Miss Engineer needs that level 6 to win this fight here. Trying their best to hold on. If they can get to the minion wave and hit 6, I think they just win here. But we will see if it looks like Miss Engineer is not bothered by the Aatrox's attempt with a masterful escape.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play.
And it looks like CEI is going to confirm the dragon. And if you already noticed, they're already getting heal cuts for how gross the healing is going to be this game.
So when you say heal cuts, like, break that down just a little bit for me.
So
What might that look like?
there's 3 items in the game.
Sure.
And their entire, as it is implied, they cut the amount of healing a character has.
Gotcha.
And so Diego has one, Tom Kench is eventually going to build one, and most likely Shaco will build one.
Okay.
But for your information, there are 6 characters in this game that have exorbitant healing if they get any items, which is Aatrox, Briar, Diego, Silas, Vayne, if she has Yumi on her, and then
So
Tom
almost the entire composition on the side of Albertus.
Oh, absolutely. Mind you, the healing on CEIs is not lacking either, but it's going to be absolutely vital for both teams to have these.
Yeah.
Because each one can basically fully heal themselves up in a matter of seconds.
And so then the follow-up, helping me to make sure that I'm on the correct page, they would have the heal cut in order to effectively stifle the healing that can come out for Albertus.
Oh, and it's absolutely necessary for a lot of these.
But I am correct.
Yes,
okay.
you are absolutely correct.
Okay, excellent.
If they do not have that, people will just not die.
Okay, okay, that is what I assumed that you were sharing.
Oh, it looks like a fight's going up in the top lane. Miss Engineer dragging the Aatrox under tower. Doesn't get a whole lot of damage off, but it's definitely even the playing field, although Aatrox still has his ult up and bot lane is trying to pester each other a little bit. Looks like Bacon is about to go down.
Sorry, I know in days gone by, for whatever reason, we just went to sleep when we were spectating. Didn't want that to happen again.
CEI's ADC went down. Hucklebear, which is the Aatrox for our for AM. I really just can't get the name down.
Albertus. That's all right.
Albertus.
That's what I'm here for.
Albertus University has used 2 of their ultimates in order to stop the fight going up top lane, but it looks like both sides have calmed down with Briar covering Aatrox's lane while they are coming back. Looks like things are calming down a little bit, and it's going back to farming for a while. I expect, though, Marmalade will make a play soon. And by soon, I mean right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. However,
they both die, but if we look at the wave mid, I do believe it'll be crashing into the Lysandra, which I believe makes Marmalade have the correct play there and making both teams sacrifice each other.
And actually, it looks like the Briar potentially is just hovering near top lane, just in case
something does happen.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to be forcing a lot of their attention top lane.
And so far, right now, not a lot of contention happening in bottom lane, so it could be an opportunity to drive wave forward and whatnot. And actually, I say that in one of the channel back. recall, so I'm just gonna leave Bacon in bot lane.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean.
Yeah, thanks.
And despite it being quote unquote boring in the bot lane, something to keep in mind though is absolutely there's going to be a 2v2 in the top lane. CEI, I do believe, will lose this, but they both managed to just stop anything from happening. But something to keep in mind is that although not a whole lot is happening in the bot lane, CEI is ahead at least a little bit in CS across the board except in top lane, because it appears that Miss Engineer doesn't have a whole lot of experience on Tahm Kench yet, but they're making up for it by just making sure the Aatrox doesn't get to do anything at the moment.
Yeah, life just made so uncomfortable.
Like Miss Engineer might just win here, beating the... Oh my gosh! Miss Engineer, in my opinion, winning that 1v2 by killing Aatrox under tower. And it looks like Marmalade has stolen Lissandra ult. I expect him to be roaming over places soon. Probably bot lane, but might just try and go for a solo kill here mid. And he's going for a solo kill here mid, hopefully with the help of the Shaco if he can make it over in time. But both ults are out mid lane. Shaco coming in, getting a... Not even getting the fear off, and Lissandra's out. Leaving Bacon alone in the bot lane by himself. And Vayne is going to try and take advantage of that and go in here. And then just backs out.
Fair play.
Fair play indeed.
6 is as far as I'm seeing across the board. Yeah, you know, kills going in favor of Albertus, but only net 1.
And that's probably the only gold difference thus far that has been here. Oh, Marmalade might go down here, unable to really escape, but tries to do damage as much as he can. Gold lead starting to slightly favor Albertus.
No worries.
Magnus. However, Dragon and Rift Herald are both up, which could easily tip the scales back into CEI favor, especially if they can get Soul relatively quickly for a game. But we will have to see how Team CEI reacts to Albertus Magnus's growing pressure.
Yeah, so far nothing to be too overly concerned about. So I don't see things totally snowballing just yet here in the early game. I think both teams obviously still with great footing. CEI not totally losing.
It looks like Miss Engineer is trying to bully out the Aatrox. Has to be careful of the Briar ult that's incoming. Wow. Dodges it. However, I believe Briar is heading up, but so is the Viego. If Miss Engineer can ult the Aatrox here, unfortunately he just didn't have his mark on him. That makes Aatrox even stronger in lane, and Miss Engineer just can't get any farm. But it looks like the Briar is currently getting assassinated, but they just barely managed to escape. Oh, but it looks like if he can land the Briar ult, he whiffs. Briar manages to escape, but I think this secures Herald for now. And it looks like there's going to be a fight over what happens here. Yeah. And it looks like Shadekeeper gets absolutely obliterated by the Lissandra and Briar.
So I believe that was Marmalade fighting with Shadekeeper there.
You would be correct.
And so Shadekeeper unfortunately just kind of playing the role of sacrifice in that instance, so Marmalade could get away, because it would... I would have officially called that the snowball had both gone down in that instance. But correct me if I'm wrong, that was them picking up Rift?
That was them picking up Rift.
Oh, and then a little bit of a skirmish here.
I don't know if they can escape here, but it looks like they're sure as heck going to try. They might be able to get the Briar here.
They might. I don't... Oh my.
They do get the Briar with a huge shutdown for Shadekeeper. Shadekeeper should get out of here while he still can.
Well, I don't know. Marmalade's here.
Marmalade's also here. It's turning into a massive slugfest if Marmalade can... Can he kill... He kills the Lissandra. Can he go off and finish... Shadekeeper unfortunately goes down with a massive bloodbath in the bot lane, going 2 for 3, with 3 being Albertus Magnus.
Wow.
And then Aatrox getting another solo kill in the top lane. Miss Engineer appears to be struggling despite the experience with Aatrox. It seems like Tom Kench needs to be practiced a little bit more from what I can tell. Because from what I'm aware, it's a fairly new pick for this engineer to use.
Not seen it often. You know, I've seen Tom Kench come out, and I don't know if it was in a league game. Holy cow, Albertus making light work of Easy Breeze there.
Oh, absolutely. And the gold lead just skyrocketed.
That's 4K right now.
Oh, absolutely. CEI is making some desperate plays that are not working out in their favor.
And I'm not sure they need to resort to the desperation just yet. You know, still ultimately plenty of time.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not like they're down as far as turrets go either.
They've only lost one, you are correct. And currently dragons are neutral. They still have control of Rift Herald, but they will have to make some sort of game changer here to get back into, not get back into, but to make sure that they don't lose the game very early.
Yeah.
Because the Aatrox is super ahead, the Vayne and the Yuumi are also fairly ahead.
And Shadekeeper extremely low there as well, and no mana to his name to really continue.
He doesn't have mana as a character.
Fair play.
However, he is really low on HP,
Yeah.
I will admit. And it looks like they're just bullying Marmalade here in the mid lane, but he's not going down without a fight. And bot lane is still just kind of holding off, and Miss Engineer is currently trying to get plates up in the top lane. Nope, plates have fallen. Trying to get first tower for CEI in the top lane. It looks like Aatrox and Briar are headed up there. And it looks like Marmalade's trying to go for a skirmish.
Don't mind it.
Close. Oh,
Wow,
he almost
good
got hit
dodge.
by the Briar ult. If he got hit by that, he was a doomed man. But it looks like Marmalade's trying to be cautious of where Briar is approaching from. He's being very cautious.
You're good. You're good. No worries.
I am a wee bit sleepy,
No
apparently.
worries. You relax. I can appreciate it.
Turn on the Space Eaters.
Turn on the Space Eaters. And Marmalade.
Just barely escapes. Hopefully the
Holy
bleed does not
cow.
kill. No!
That is unfortunate.
It is really unfortunate, but it looks like Miss Engineer and Shadekeeper are trying to kill the Aatrox, take him down without either of them going down. Bot lane is trying to take out the Vayne. It looks like they're winning the fight. If they can get a little bit more damage on them, then they win this year.
Oh.
Barely whiffs the Jhin ult, but they have secured lane prio and probably extensively the bot lane tower. And then top lane is currently being cautious of Briar, which leaves mid open for Lissandra, top open for CEI, and bot open for CEI.
Yeah. So they're going to use Herald there, but just pushed off briefly. So the Briar just trying to hold on to this turret for as long as possible. But I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do so.
Manages to save it. I think CEI is going to back off here. Since Aatrox has TP behind them. Looks like there's going to be another brawl in top lane. I think Miss Engineer is going to lose to Aatrox and Shadekeeper is going to get ran down. But we will see. Nope, they both decide to focus Miss Engineer.
Wow, okay.
Really unfortunate timing.
They're just going to allow for the pylon to continue to happen in top lane, seemingly.
Well, they don't really have much choice, but something to note is that the gold lead is starting to decrease. CEI is starting to catch up. It went from 4K to 2.5K right now. No,
3K.
3K just now. So they're slowly starting to climb back up, but they're going to have to continue playing very carefully to make sure that it doesn't continue scaling out of control. The Shakeless support being a little bit of a menace, but to be expected. It looks like Dragon will be coming up soon, so they will probably be the next big fight will be happening around there, unless if Magnus wants to wants to go for the other Rift Herald, since they have undisputed priority in the top lane. But we will see how they decide to distribute their effort.
So let's talk a little bit of hypotheticals as both teams try to, even things, or I should say CEI try to even things out, but like what could be the win condition for CEI moving forward, especially being 9 kills down right now, because Thankfully, the gold lead not gone. Yeah, it's 3K higher, but it has the potential to be so much higher with all the kills going away.
Oh, absolutely.
Albertus. So, what might be a win condition here, and I'd say that in easy breeze.
Easy breeze just barely makes it out, but it looks like they're trying to force a fight mid. And it looks like that fight will continue with it being
goodness.
a 5v5 mid coming up here. They're fighting under their tower. They managed to survive. Unfortunately, Bacon dies. But it looks like they're going to go for a continued fight under the tower. Lysandra almost dead. Aatrox surviving by a hair.
All 3 kills so far in that fight. 4 now going in the favor of Albertus. CEI not able to pick up a kill. If there was an opportunity, it would have been there. But Easy Breeze will go down very last. So now
Lysandra dies to Wolves, giving Easy Breeze the 1 kill out of the fight there in favor of CEI.
So that's going to be mid lane.
This might be game over. That put their 3K lead to almost 7K.
Yeah, I asked for what a potential win condition might be at the I'm
Worst
sorry for
potential time.
I'm sorry for casters cursing. That's so unfortunate.
The Aatrox barely. Oh,
Maybe.
oh.
Okay.
Bacon managing to get a
Okay.
great snipe on the Aatrox and stealing his shutdown. Still don't think it's gonna be enough, but it will certainly help.
It is such an uphill battle, and it's no longer a hill. It's becoming a mountain.
That looks more like a plateau.
Fair enough.
But I understand what you mean. It is going to be very difficult for CEI to maneuver
Blue
moving
team's turret
forward.
has been destroyed.
That's not what we want. My apologies, everybody.
But currently, Miss Engineer is going to be struggling for quite a bit. Marmblade's going to be struggling. This leaves a lot of the game pressure resting on Shadekeeper to try and make plays wherever he can.
Yeah, and we look and see that there's no priority right now for Albertus in top lane. And of course I say and Aatrox is putting the move back that way, but
Yeah, but regardless, Miss Engineer is shoving those waves, making sure Aatrox has to take the farm that's up there. Might try and force a fight, but it doesn't look like it. So it looks like CEI is just trying to avoid a scuffle at the moment, which I believe is prudent here.
it's certainly mandatory, honestly. Like, I understand it. Like, you're so far down, seemingly. I can imagine there's a wee bit of tilt potentially happening amongst the ranks, but at a time like this, like, you legitimately have to just find a way to keep your composure. And
Otherwise, it gets so much worse.
yeah.
But it looks like Miss Engineer is going to be able to lead the scuffle, doing a little bit of poke damage to Huckleberry Bear, but I don't think they're too worried about it, especially with Briar's hovering topside.
So it's like focus again, and you move to it now. It's going to be what happens here in mid lane.
It looks like a lot of their forces are all consolidating mid lane. They might try for another 5v5 and try and go for Baron afterwards, but we will see. It could be, honestly, a Baron play here.
Definitely potential to still be winnable, but again, it's no longer a hill. It's feels like a mountain.
Gotta wonder what's going through the head where they're just standing there for oh so long. But it looks like they are going to go for a Baron play. Thus far, CEI doesn't appear to be aware, but it looks like Bacon is checking real quick. And CEI is now aware of the attempt on Baron. Maybe they can attempt to steal, maybe they can attempt the 5v5, but it looks like Miss Engineer is indeed going in. And a 5v5 is currently gone down. It looks like Shadekeeper is focused on Baron. Nope, it got stolen by Lysandra when Shadekeeper went on it. This, I have to say, is GG. Their entire team is going down here, and there's not a darn thing CEI can do about it.
I can respect the attempt. I
just don't think they had the power to do it.
Yeah, I think perhaps calculate just a little bit too early there.
If If they were really desperate for Baron, what I personally would have done is, since they had Blast Cone near Baron, if I remember correctly, although I could be mistaken, was just have Shadekeeper attempt to do a steal and maybe get Tom Kench a little bit out of there, and then have the rest of the team focus on towers and farm elsewhere on the map so that they can try and get something during that play. And if they fail to steal, they fail to steal up to 2 people die rather than all 5. But if they do, 1 person dies, they steal the Baron and probably get 1 or 2 towers, which would be really useful for CEI right now.
So, after having that happen, you're now CEI. What is the move forward? I mean, I can 100% appreciate that they've not
The move is
just
to
thrown in the
FF.
towel. Well, no, it can't
I'm
be.
just joking.
It can't be. You gotta have.
You don't break your spirit that easily.
No, you've got to still have pride as a motivating factor, just to put your best foot forward, regardless of what has happened thus far.
Absolutely, you can't give up. But the thing is, as bad as the 10k gold lead is for CEI to deal with, what they really need to do is avoid fighting at all costs, but it looks like that's not going to be happening.
Well, and whether they like it or not, I think Albertus is just going to force the issue. I think they know, like,
They
it's in our
understand as
favor.
long as they fight, they will win. They just have too much in the way of what they need. But yeah, they're absolutely going to clean up the enemy here, leaving only Bacon alive, but he's being chased down by Aatrox into his base. They just end here. There's nothing CEI can do. What they needed to do was focus on protecting their mid lane. They would really needed to have wave clear. They could not be in places without vision, and they could definitely not contest that dragon.
Yeah. So here we are. Albertus just final blows, and that is going to be game number 1, going the way of Albertus in a very dominating fashion when all things are said and done. So
it is sad considering CEI for the most part also had the CS advantage. The only reason Albertus Magnus got ahead was just the sheer amount of kills that were coming towards.
true. And this is the NACE Open Plus Divisional playoffs. So this is round of 8. So again, already in itself, it is a bit of a feat to
Make it this
to
far
be
in the first
in
place.
the top 8. And again, it's something that I'm extremely proud of. So again, no matter the result, happy for the team and the experience that they get to have in doing
30
this.
seconds until minions
So.
spawn.
Lovely.
Forgot about objective timers last time.
Oh, we are a-okay.
Believe it or not, I'm not exactly the most well-seen person.
It's all good.
But
Oh, interesting.
Singed is trying to go for that proxy. Miss Engineer, anticipating it, is going to try and stop that from happening.
So, seemingly just hiding in bush, and yeah.
So what the Singed plan is to go through jungle so that he can meet up in between first and second tower.
Gotcha.
Because that's what's the gap for Singed players. Gives him a lot of maneuverability and a lot of escape potential.
Gotcha.
But it looks like Miss Engineer is going to be very wary of that, which should hopefully make it an easier laning phase for them.
Good play. Just monitoring the situation.
But it looks like nothing else really went off, so it looks like we're going immediately into the lane phase. So
if Singed is forced to play in lane, what is that going to look like moving forward? Because surely that doesn't play in their favor.
well, it's not as if Singed can't be a normal laner,
Yeah.
but Singed, his entire gimmick is kiting because he lays poison on the ground and his whole goal is to avoid everything. But if he's in an actual lane against someone who has skill shots like Aatrox, who's
Yeah.
a fairly fast character, it at least makes it so that Singed has something to be scared of. Although something like that will often happen because Singed is often a difficult matchup for those who are unexperienced in fighting him.
Okay. So, and again, that does raise an eyebrow to see how Miss Engineer tries to kind of traverse that situation, just because I don't know what the experience is on this engineer's side, having going up against a Singed player.
Absolutely. And Singed is probably one of the few characters that you'll see probably once every blue moon.
Yeah.
So you don't even get
You wouldn't even get just
repetition against the champion.
Yeah, precisely. And yeah, so how can you really properly play into that?
But it looks like Bacon and Easy Breeze making a solid combo on the Yasuo and Yumi. I think they will be okay in bot lane until Sejuani comes.
The early signs would indicate as such, yes.
But it looks like Miss Engineer's definitely keeping that health advantage in top lane. But both junglers are starting to approach up there, so there's definitely going to be some scuffling going on. Marmalade not having the priority in mid lane, but at least keeping them out of there. Shadekeeper. It looks like Shadekeeper skipped a camp, so he's a level down on the Sejuani, but it looks like they're both backing up. Nope, it looks like they're both going in after Sejuani, but Nico's coming up. They need to get out of there, otherwise this could go very poorly.
And is that Marmalade hovering?
Marmalade is still
but
taking
not...
care of his wave in the mid lane. He did not have time to answer Nico's leaving. Because Victor takes a lot of time to get to the point where he will be pretty much an unstoppable force.
Gotcha.
But we'll see that point eventually.
All things considered equal.
Oh, absolutely.
No harm, no foul there in the early engagements.
Yep. The only thing they really need to be careful of, at least CEI, is making sure they maintain high CS, especially Marmalade. His passive is going to be very useful here. But it looks like Elf George and their backpack Uni are starting to push in the bot wave, trying to get it to crash to a certain degree. Bacon needs to claim this wave if he wants to start building up a useful lead. And it looks like Marmalade's getting poked at a little bit, but he just doesn't have the mana to fight back. I'm assuming he's getting a recall off here so that he can leave. And Miss Engineer is getting bamboozled in the top lane. You see what I mean by Singed being a rare breed?
Truly, I mean, just kind of what an odd pick.
Wow! What a beautiful flash on part of CEI.
Wow!
Huckleberry Bear went for a very aggressive play there, and Miss Engineer said, "No,
I think
that's
he just
not
thought
happening."
he had free reign. I think he thought, "Listen, I'm just here dancing, and he's letting me. He's letting me dance. Let me dance."
And then all of a sudden, you get a giant.
The
sword.
music stopped. The music stopped. Not allowed to dance any longer.
But CEI claiming first blood. Hopefully that is good good news for them. It's definitely a better start than what happened in the previous match. And it looks like Yumi used her Ignite for some reason.
Odd.
Absolutely. It looks like mid lane, nothing's really happening except farming. I expect they'll start roaming probably around level 9 to level 11. Bot lane's just going to keep on trying to bully Yasuo.
So far, the wave push is
Really nice. Yeah, absolutely. They're starting to get some plates and they're able to poke out Yasuo under tower. But that's why you have to be careful in choosing a non-traditional ADC like Yasuo, because really hard to fight back when someone uses a gun and you have a sword.
Totally fair. So I am definitely interested to keep my eye on that, especially when they've got, a backpack for a companion. So we'll see. As you've stated,
Literally has a cat.
yes.
Does not care. But it will be an interesting game to see. Miss Engineer is exerting the pressure top lane. Sejuani and Amumu are both bot side. And it appears that CEI's bot lane has backed. Nothing really going on at the moment. Mid lane's still just farming it out, but they're starting to get a little damage off. And it looks like Miss Engineer's gonna try and go for another solo kill here. But we'll see how effective that is. It might not be worth their time unless they can get some Qs off. But another point to explain how weird it is to fight Singed. Rather than building HP or damage, they built the one item that gives you the most move speed in the game.
Okay.
So their entire thing is, I'm just gonna run circles around you, and then make you wish you didn't play the game. But it looks like Easy Breeze is getting out of this.
Yep.
Hopefully his Q comes off of cooldown soon. But it looks like Shakekeeper's here, but they're not going in.
That's
Very
fair, but interesting.
Because I think if all three of them just went on Sejuani there, Yasuo wouldn't have had time to respond. But I could be
Extremely
mistaken,
cautious. Extremely cautious.
which is completely fair. CEI has a 600 gold lead. They still have to be, despite having that, they still have to be very careful. The game is very much volatile at this point. But thus far, it's not looking to be the worst.
What a compliment. What a thing to say. You know, so far
This
you
isn't
just
the worst time.
yeah. Yeah. Things could be totally just awful, and they're not. So wow, how incredible is that?
I have the best compliments. I have the highest amount of optimism.
I appreciate it.
It's 2023, everything is a maybe. But it looks like the brawling in top lane is continuing as ever. Singe just trying to get anything off on Miss Engineer, and Sejuani here to back him up. But
Yeah, I
I
think
don't think anything's gonna happen for quite some time unless Miss Engineer really shoves this wave out.
Yeah, I think perhaps Sin's just trying to lull Miss Engineer into a false sense of security.
And
Yeah.
get that trap off on him. But it looks like Sejuani is leaving, so Miss Engineer is now in a position to fight back, because it looks like Singe is going to try and roam mid, maybe? Or maybe they're getting some honey fruit from the river to get some extra HP back? I'm not sure. But it looks like CEI is attempting to go for the Drake, having everyone over there except, of course, Miss Engineer. And that leaves Albertus, Magnus, trying to get a pick off in top lane, but now they're going for Rift Herald. But Miss Engineer just barely manages to survive, and it looks like the Drake is about to die, so it'd be really good for them to claim it. And now they have first to Drake, first blood, and maybe they'll get first tower.
Potentially. I think we saw him take first Drake in game 1. So I'm not totally.
And then all hell broke loose.
Yeah, precisely. Precisely.
But things are going pretty decent on the side of CEI. They have a little bit of a gold lead. Everyone's doing pretty decent in their waves. No one's really losing, but the game is definitely going to start speeding up. People are getting close to their mythics, which is going to cause some, let's say, interesting things.
I certainly hope so. It seemed like it was a bit of a bloodbath at the 10-minute mark. Things, maybe it was the biased optimism in me. Didn't seem like it was all too consequential early on. But looking back, you know, hindsight 2020, yeah, things were not as lovely as perhaps I thought.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh well.
But things in top lane are going fairly well. Sejuani is coming up soon. Marmalade. Oh, Marmalade getting hitting by Nico ult, but he flips it up on them and kills them. Miss Engineer needs to get out of there. It looks like, but it looks like Miss Engineer is going to try and go for the 1v2, trying to get an aggressive kill onto the Singed. But I don't know how this battle is going to turn out. But it looks like Miss Engineer does not care and is going to try and kill both here. They're both backing off.
Wow.
This is why they picked Aatrox.
Yes.
If he lands a Q on either of them, they will die.
Just total comfort, I should say.
Oh, absolutely.
And knowing what his capabilities are.
A lot more than Tom Kench is making a completely different top lane.
Yes.
Huckleberry Bear is probably wondering where this player came from.
Probably. Perhaps longing for the days of his own Aatrox.
Back in my day, I played Aatrox. But it seems like things are, not to jinx it, going fairly decent for CEI. They have both kills in the game. Victor is starting to scale and get his passive up. Bot lane's claiming plates, and top lane has urgency in top lane. So maybe if they can keep this pace for a couple more minutes, maybe get a couple of kills, they might be able to pull off what Albertus Magnus did last match, and we could maybe see a third match here.
Yeah. I mean, the roadmap looking fairly promising. Moving
don't say
forward. I know. I'm sorry. I did 3. I'm staying consistent. I'm keeping it with odd numbers. Yeah. Who's next? However, Albertus.
I shouldn't say that.
Yes, sir.
I would
Albertus.
never insult someone's mom.
Albertus
But it looks,
did collect rifts.
they collected Rift and used it to get some tower gold for mid lane. But it looks like the gold lead is starting to go in favor of CEI. Their mere 300 to 600 gold advantage has grown to 1.5k, which is very nice for them. Looks like top lane is fighting once again.
He is just a speedy boy. Wow.
Yeah.
How annoying.
Absolutely. He has Ghost, his ult gives him a move speed, his boots are for extra movement, and then he gets movement if he touches a champion, whether it be an ally or an enemy.
Wow.
So his entire gimmick is, I'm going to be
And is Miss Engineer just going to be poisoned to death here? Is that?
That is probably what's going to happen. I don't see them getting out of here, but they just maybe might survive if they play some shenanigans. Oh, if that Q3 had gone off, I think Singe dies there. But just really hard to land those skill shots when you have someone moving around like the blue blur.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Well
to watch.
played on Huckleberry's part. But there's a reason very few people play Singe. Not a lot of people can pull off that type of play effectively, because it's hard to avoid all those skill shots in a very short manner, so kudos to them. However, very annoying.
Truly.
But it looks like the Nico is going to die in the mid lane, uses their ult, but so does the Amumu, leading to a kill in the mid lane.
It looked like the Sejuani tried to hover over potentially, but it
And
has
then
thought
just
better of it.
once the Nico got obliterated by the laser beam, they're like, I don't think this is the way to go. But it looks like they are going to try and make the play bot here.
Oh,
Bacon masterful flash.
Maybe?
Just barely escapes. We'll see if Easy Breeze can follow their example. But it looks like they're both down. Looks like the Amumu showed up. If they can focus the Sejuani here, that'll be another kill in favor of CEI. Q Amumu! Q Amumu! Q! Do it! Do it! Land the old Jin, please! Please!
Okay, Marmalade. Actually the one picking that up.
But regardless, CEI got it. If Miss Engineer lands this here, I believe this will be another kill for CEI. Potentially another one if you can get the Yumi in time, but it looks like Nico's there to save him. But masterfully done on CEI's part. That's
What a goofy cat, bro.
they got 3 kills there, I want to say, or was it 2? They get
that was
dragged.
3. That was
Yeah.
3.
And now Miss Engineer's heading back top lane to collect the wave, make sure Singe doesn't get too much in plates, and Marmalade's back in the mid lane, ready to wreak more havoc. It seems like Marmalade is definitely going to be the threat I had previously predicted, but Miss Engineer misses Q3 and Singe is just walking around tower trying to break it. Gotta love Singed, man. But it looks like there's a lot of fighting going up. Singed just barely makes it out. Miss Engineer flashing after him. Don't know if they'll be able to catch up.
Nope.
Another flash from Singed as well. Speedy Boy gets out, but it looks like Miss Engineer is going to take it. Nope. It appears that he is trying to set up Sejuani for a gank here. We'll see if Miss Engineer catches on to this.
Surely they read that. Amumu.
Surely he sees the aggressive 200 HP settings.
Amumu there to provide a
A
little
counter
bit of
gank
support.
if necessary.
The Sejuani does move off, and they actually just leave Singed to his own devices there in the top lane. So that actually might be top turret falling.
Yeah, it looks like Aatrox and Amumu were just claiming Rift Herald real quick. They do lose turret, but they might be able to get the Singed here if they are able to cut him off. Unfortunately, Shakekeeper whiffs his Q, but depending on the amount of HP left in top tower, he could use it there. But he could also one-tap the mid lane turret and allow Marmalade even more gold, which is what I would personally do. But we will see, because if Victor can get first tower, that is a lot of gold in Victor's pocket. But currently it looks like top lanes are both resetting, bot lanes being careful of the Sejuani that's coming around, and Amumu and Victor are both mid. I believe he's going to drop the Herald there. And he does. Looks like mid turret is going down. We'll see how Nico tries to defend it. I don't see her really doing a whole lot of damage, but it looks like there are 3 people mid. I do believe Sejuani might ult here. Nope, they decide to leave despite having the entirety of their team here. Marmalade flashing away from the Singed that was coming after them. Singed has used ult. Oh, that is a very questionable ult there. Yeah. Jin getting taken down. Easy Breeze managing to get a kill onto the Nico. Looks like he's just trying to waste his opponent's time. But currently this 5v5 brawl is in favor of CEI. Sejuani about to go down, burning to death from Marmalade's Leandries. Amumu getting the hook of his life onto that Yasuo. That thing stretched across 3 screens.
Wow.
But it looks like the rest of Albertus Magnus manages to... I apologize.
You're okay.
Really,
no, you're okay. We can just say a different name every time if we need to.
Albertus. But Albertus.
Yes, sir.
Albertus manages to escape there with 2 of their members still alive. CEI preparing for the next objective going up. But their gold lead has now reached a little under 3k, most of it being on Marmalade. I believe this could very easily result into a snowball as previously displayed. Did not mean to press buttons.
Is okay. So Bacon, thankfully not punished. Well, I should say CEI not punished for the potential mistake there.
Yeah,
by
it's
Bacon.
Definitely a very questionable ult where you can't move next to 3 people, but
Well,
sometimes these things happen. It could have been a misclick.
Yeah. Could have been.
It also could have been the worms in the brain.
Well, they do come and go. Those pesky worms.
It's fine.
Silly brain worms.
Silly brain worms. But it looks like Marmalade is heading the bot side to deal with Yasuo. CEI's bot lane currently hovering mid, preparing for the next Drake that's about to spawn in 10 seconds.
Well, the Yasuo, seeing Victor there and thinking twice.
Looks like Miss Engineer is trying to go for that top lane tower. They do have TP available to join this fight. I'm sure they're communicating. They are communicating. Their team is going in. Easy Breeze going in, trying to get his Shaco clone Fear off, and it looks like they are really trying to force something here. But it looks like they took Infernal Drake, and they're getting the heck out of dodge. So, I think
no one down either.
No one went down. Both sides kind of just said, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
And that is all 3 Drakes.
3 Drakes inside in favor of CEI. If they get 1 more, that'll be Infernal Soul, which will be super useful. Bacon getting queued and Miss Engineer taking the Sejuani ult.
Okay,
Apologies for that, but it looks like CEI has gone into full swing of this fight with the Mumu ulting the enemy backline. They're probably backing off now, but a Drake 3 ults and a kill is not the worst deal to make for CEI.
Significantly just more organized here in game number 2. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, I think Miss Engineer swapping to a champion they have more knowledge on, and Marmalade stopping all the ganks that happened unlike the previous game are turning this into a completely different match.
Definitely.
I hope that there will be a game 3.
Yes, likewise. And I think so far, again, I think we've got a very good roadmap moving forward, and a DJ. How exciting was that?
DJ?
Yes, did you not see the DJ? That was their channel. They're channeling animation. Or whatever
the
it was.
Yasuo. Yeah.
DJ set. I'm
He
sorry.
he do be a DJ.
Okay, well I say this, and
And
it's
Marmalade is getting ganged up on. His teammates are trying to help him, but they're just not gonna make it in time.
and this could be punishable as well.
Yeah, because there's 3 top lane currently. They know which clone is they know which Shaco is the clone and which one is real. And they do have Nico up here, so he should be very afraid here.
The roles are reversed. What is happening? Why is Miss Engineer bot lane? Why is bot lane top lane? I have so
It's
many
madness.
questions. I have so many questions. Oh, this.
It looks like the Singe is coming in, going after Bacon. If he can kill the Singe real
Okay.
quick, then they can just purely focus Sejuani. Excellent kiting by Bacon, leading to a
There we
double
go.
kill for CEI's bot lane against the top lane and jungle of Albertus Magnus. And Miss Engineer, taking advantage of all the chaos up in top lane, is trying to shove in that bot tower. Should probably leave very, very shortly.
And all this said, you know, a 7-kill lead, and it is only a 2k gold lead at the end of the day for CEI.
That is true. There is some CS discrepancy between the two teams. Singed being slightly higher and Yasuo being slightly higher than their counterparts. But for the most part, the game is still fairly neutral, especially since Sejuani got that massive shutdown off of Marmalade.
Sure.
So he's going to have to be very careful about that if he gets another one, because it is very clear that they recognize him as a threat. But it's getting to the point where he can almost insta-clear waves, which is definitely going to be an issue for Albertus. I need more caffeine.
Yeah. I hear that. We all need more caffeine. Just a bit of roaming happening. The Singed looking to potentially break free uncontested and could continue to move his wave forward. Really just a lot of focus happening on the bottom half of the map right now.
Yeah. With the dragon about to be spawning in 1 minute, if they can start making momentum right here, right now, they could secure Soul, which for CEI I think will be massive, considering how much damage Marmalade and Bacon already do.
Yes. It's going to be crucial, I think, and I think it's going to be one of the things that really solidify a win condition for CEI.
Absolutely.
So,
But Sion's trying to take advantage of the fact that Miss Engineer's not up there. The question is, does Albertus have the manpower to fight this? Because they do not have TP. If Miss Engineer clears the wave, and probably the next one on top of it, they'll be able to join the dragon fight, and Singe will be a little bit behind. But it looks like Singe is heading straight over towards Dragon Pit, and it looks like Marmalade is getting collapsed on by 3 people. Aatrox TPing in to try and save him. He manages to dodge the Nico ult, but
Marmalade
in
sacrificing.
exchange, Marmalade survives by having this engineer sacrifice their life for them. And it looks like Easy Breeze might also go down here, but we will see. It looks like they're starting Infernal Drake, and we probably should get over there quickly. But Nico is going down here. Mumu might try for the steal here. Almost steals it, but it looks like they might win this team fight if they can get over the wall.
I don't know.
Singe sacrificing himself for the Yasuo. Albertus manages to get their first Drake of the game and several hundred gold in shutdowns. So it looks like CEI is going to try and take advantage of the fact that only 2 people are up that really matter and try to take that mid turret.
That really matter. Not throwing shade to the backpack that be.
Well, the thing is,
I know.
and this is a joke mainly for me and my friends, but Yumi is an item that takes a champion slot.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But it looks like CEI lost a wee bit of tempo from that fight, losing the shutdowns on 2 of their members, especially with the Aatrox dying there. But
And the gold lead also being cut in half
Yeah.
effectively.
That 2.5k lead just turned into 1.2, so I absolutely agree. But we will see. The CEI still has an extra tower on them, still has 2 more Drakes. Nobody's really worried about the Baron quite yet, but it looks like Miss Engineer is getting ready for another 1v2. Sejuani trying to force the play here, but just collecting their Krugs now instead. Miss Engineer is going to be very careful how they play. They are not very tanky as of yet. But it looks like they are securing vision and neutral objectives. Looks like they're trying to fight Singe. The slow really working wonders to Sorel does. Unfortunately, the slow stops Bacon from killing the Singed, so the Singed is getting out here. But it looks like the Singed is coming back? Oh no, it's Nico in disguises. But hopefully they can see through it. Oh, Marmalade managing to damage the clone and break into disguise. Looks like CEI is backing off as Easy Breeze pushes bot lane. They might see a potential Baron here, but we are not entirely sure as of yet. Looks like it's actually going to be a 3-man top to try and take down Singe. Questionable move considering no one is in bot lane stopping 3 people from being there, and Singe is attempting to run through jungle. However, they are aware, he is aware that he is boxed in. It looks like he's going to try and go through the Aatrox to escape.
They're just gonna let him go for question mark?
They're trying to get him away, but he's just so fast that the CEI is struggling to keep on him. And it looks like another Marmalade shows up as well, sending 4 people top to deal with the Singe. He is not having a good time, but it looks like the the Yasuo is going to be taking bot turret, since they have left them completely unattended. But this also leaves CEI up for Baron. And it looks like Albertus is aware of this and trying to give Yasuo the space he needs. But it looks like Albertus is just going to sacrifice the Baron and try and take towers, like I mentioned how CEI should have done last game. But they have gotten Baron. The gold lead is now 2k again. And CEI does lose 2 towers for that play, giving Albertus the advantage on towers. We'll have to see how they take advantage of this increased priority in bot lane. And it made the gold lead back to roughly 1.2 to 1.5k again. So the game is still very much very close. And with Drake spawning in 1 minute, and how strong Bacon and Marmalade currently are, Albertus will need to be able to get into the backline, probably using Singed Q and Yasuo ult, to try and win the next team fight that's coming up. Unless if CEI can somehow get a pick here.
It looks like Miss Engineer is just trying to allow for that first pick to happen, however, Sejuani
Trying to disrupt however he can, but that does secure blue buff for CEI, which, although typically isn't make or break for most things, it does help. And it looks like Miss Engineer scared scared the Sejuani. It looks like Singe is top. They're definitely going to need someone to deal with it, otherwise they're going to lose another 2 towers. But it looks like they're saying, whatever Singed happens, we need this soul.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're sending Easy Breeze back to deal with it, since all he needs to do is take care of the waves. So, and it looks like they're sending everyone down mid, hoping Sejuani can go for a steal.
Oh my goodness.
CEI gets the soul, but they are losing a lot in exchange for it. They're now at a gold loss.
Might potentially be able to create some type of box as they look to channel. They don't know though. Yeah,
They don't know, and they all managed to leave just in time. CEI does now have Soul, and they do still currently have Baron buff, but they have lost the gold lead they previously established, so they're gonna have to be very careful how they move here now that the items are equal. Shaco activating their ult. for some reason. Not entirely sure what the plan was there, but it looks like they're just trying to force something mid here. With Bacon split pushing top side. I believe... Oh, it looks like Singe is ulting and ghosting, trying to catch someone out here. I believe they're going to try and go after Marmalade, but it just doesn't work out. And CEI takes tier 2, starting to get them their gold back. Bacon is taking care of tier 2 top, and it looks like CEI is winning the fight mid with Sejuani going down, as well as Singe being on the verge of death. Bacon taking tier 2 in top lane. CEI regaining that 2k gold advantage. Those towers really working wonders. Nico getting a 4-man ult off, managing to get Yasuo a triple kill. Marmalade being very cautious of what's happening, and it looks like Bacon takes a tier 3, but he is definitely being chased down by Singe right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if he can escape, but he will certainly try his best. Run, Bacon, run! He might just make it out, so long as he doesn't stutter step poorly.
Okay,
He just barely manages to escape. But what a play from the Yasuo and the Nico. They worked perfectly well together there. Honestly, the real threat here is only really Yasuo. If they can take him down, Albertus loses all of their damage that they currently possess.
Yeah, and there is no gold lead to be spoken of.
The game has become completely neutral, but that's about to change if Marmalade can take tier 2. But that is Nico TP out of the way. So now it looks like things are going back to farming for a second as they wait for the next big objective to spawn, which will be in about 2 minutes with the next Baron coming up. But what a roller coaster of emotions!
Seriously, when I think that things might begin to snowball, Albertus with a beautiful answer there with the Nico.
Oh, absolutely. That was. However, I should have seen that coming. No one sticks around with that much HP under tower. Unless if they're delusional, which sometimes that does happen. We are merely man after all.
Yeah, truly.
But it looks like the gold lead is still relatively even. Looks like they're trying to make a play top. CES trying to make a play top lane. They're clearing out all the vision, maybe trying to catch out Singed. But I really think they need to focus on taking out this Yasuo. He is the current linchpin of their strategy.
And I wonder if that is something that's being recognized right now by the squad for CEI. If I don't know. Obviously we don't know what the comms are looking like. I just wonder what the game plan is going to be here in the late game as they move forward. It seems like they've been very objective driven, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it is going to be time to target certain individuals to really create that opening.
Oh, absolutely, and as you say, they are very much objective based. In order to get some of those objectives, they really sacrificed a lot in order to make sure they got that soul.
Did.
Which, mind you, still going to be super useful here, but they lost a lot. They gave the enemy a lot of gold in making the choice they did.
True, and are kind of paying the price for it now, as they don't have the gold lead, and it would take them creating an opening by, like you say, potentially taking out the Yasuo, and really just finding a kill here somewhere to try to get back in favor of the gold. Or I should say,
well, it looks like they're trying to rush Baron while the Yasuo can't answer, putting boxes in his way to make sure that they're easy breeze being a menace and just keeping people away from the Baron. It looks like they're getting Baron undisputed. If they can get out, that is the gold lead back in CEI's favor.
So objectives serving them well.
Yes, so long as they don't lose another tower for this.
Yes.
But it looks like that they will get out. They will get their items. Victor starting to build a Void Staff, and a Mortal Reminder has been finished by Jin, and Death Stance finished by Aatrox. Massive power spikes in terms of items. So we'll see if CEI can take advantage of this. But it might be very difficult because Albertus also just got a couple of their items finished. So we'll see if they can take advantage of the sudden power spike, because it looks like people are preparing for Elder. If Easy Breeze can get some good boxes pre-set up, they might be able to get some cheese off here. But it looks like Miss Engineer is pushing up a little bit. Miss Engineer may be pushing up a wee bit too far.
I thinking so, unfortunately.
But it looks like he's going to try and go for the 1v4, healing so much here and almost killing 3 people in the meantime. But one man can only fight so many numbers of people. But it looks like Cinch is going down.
Wow,
Sejuani's going in after Bacon. As long as Shakekeeper can keep Amumu and Jin alive, they should be fine here. Beautiful hug by Shakekeeper onto the Yasuo.
The fact that Bacon is still alive as well.
End, please, end.
Someone, please, get him.
Easy Breeze definitely gonna get the Nico. Come on, E. Yeah,
there we are.
Acing the team. They're going for Elder rather than rushing the base. Questionable play, but it will work out regardless. I'm assuming they're going to reset after this and move off the towers, but they really should have gone after what they could. They no longer have the time because the enemy is going to respawn in roughly 20 seconds. They might have had a chance to clear out an inhibitor or two if they had done that quickly enough.
And they're just going to be, you know, sprinting
back. It looks like they're going to have Miss Engineer split off into a side lane and spend the rest of the people mid. They currently have Baron and Elder buff, which makes it very, very difficult for Albertus to fight, even with Aatrox being down. But Aatrox was absolutely pivotal that last fight, tanking all that initial burst.
Yes.
His healing was off the charts, but the enemy just barely... The enemy recognizing this just bought 3 heal cuts.
Yeah.
But it looks like CEI is going to take advantage of the sudden power spike and take as many inhibitors as they can. Miss Engineer is currently bringing the wave up from top lane. We'll see if CEI takes that top inhibitor or if they're going to go after towers with Jin and try and get them from a distance, hoping the Yasuo can't get on top of them. But Easy Breeze is taking some real punishment here. They've got to be careful.
There's still an opportunity for Aatrox, Miss Engineer rather, to
join the fray.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it looks like CEI is being cautious now. They definitely want that tower, but they know if they make a mistake, Yasuo can clean up their whole team. So it looks like Miss Engineer and Shakekeeper are going to try and go after that top inhibitor. They might get intercepted by the Albertus team, but they have claimed 2 inhibitors now. They are claimed at one of their Nexus tower. They use one Nexus tower, then they have an open base. But it looks like Cinch has had enough of Shaco's goofiness and tries to go after him immediately, but nothing really happens here. Kind of just a lot of fighting going on, but not a whole lot happening. But Nexus tower is down. Aatrox ults, Nico ults, Yasuo ults. Marmalade executing everybody in the fight. Oh my goodness! A triple kill from Marmalade there.
Oh my god.
Beautifully done, CEI in the second match. 8k gold lead and objective superiority.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. A chance to really solidify, you know, placement and ultimately just validation on the seasons that both teams have had and the success found in both of their seasons. Again, both teams coming into this round of 8 with a 4-2 record. So
whoever gets this gets the 5-2 glory while the other one falls out. Yeah. So both teams have something to fight for.
4-3 just doesn't look as good. Oh, let's get this underway once more. There you are, my friend. Quentin, take the wheel.
Oh, we kind of need this.
Lovely.
Lovely, lovely.
Minions have spawned.
It looks like both sides are being very passive. Something that I normally see from CEI is those early invades, but I just don't think they have that. They actually do have that pressure here level when their team is fairly strong, but it looks like they're just very cautious, which they definitely should be.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, both understand the pressure and the weight that is going to be placed on this game.
Which, kudos to them for thus far keeping up with the pressure. But I expect the tempo of this game to manifest very quickly.
Surprise.
Looks like Miss Engineer is going for the early scuffle already, trying to beat out Mordekaiser. If they play this properly, they might even win here, but looks like they are very cautious. Both top laners have already used both their potions.
Neither necessarily worse for wear. Both.
They
trading
both
back and
lost a
forth.
lot.
I mean, yes, both worse for wear, but one worse than the other? No.
Well, when it comes to something like that, they both have the tools to get their HP back. Set's passive is just literally HP regen, and Mordekaiser has an ability that lets him heal. Miss Engineer taking a heavy blow there, but coming out all right. Top lane, mid lane looking like it's just going to be another farm fest for quite some time as they both just try and get to the position they want to be. But if Miss Engineer can establish a lead early on in the top lane, it'll be very interesting to see what they can do, because it looks like they're already going for that early pressure. Maybe the flash could have killed the Mordekaiser there, but if whoever's jungler reaches top lane first is almost guaranteed a kill at this point.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I expect Miss Engineer to flash E and try and kill the Mordekaiser. And it looks like I was correct. Come on, Shakekeeper. Move over, move over, move over. The Master Yi's there.
Yikes.
Come on.
Shade.
Oh, looks like he's going for it.
And maybe a double.
It might be a double if Shakekeeper can stop the Master Yi. Let's go!
Wow.
Sorry for that.
No, listen, I love it. I love it. Very well. I thought that potentially all was lost there. I'm not gonna lie.
That Master Yi was so close to getting a double kill here. But it looks like bot lane is bullying Yasuo just like the previous game. Top lane has that lead advantage. But it looks like Miss Engineer is going to try and leave. They can TP back in, hopefully, and get that reset off. Shakekeeper getting both of those kills might make for an effective jungler early on. And it looks like the first Drake will be Ocean Drake this game.
Excellent.
And it looks like Shakekeeper is pathing towards bot. Easy Breeze, just exerting pressure by being there. The Yasuo has to be very careful how he plays. If he takes that hook, he is going to take a lot of damage, and there's nothing he can do about it. Marmalade dodging some skill shots saves a little damage from the Q, but it looks like Miss Engineer is back in top lane. Shakekeeper's probably going to reset soon, and it looks like Nico's also resetting. Well, let me ask you. Is there any... what do you think CEI is going to focus on? Do you think they're going to be objective-driven again, just like the previous game?
Well, the games that I've had the opportunity to see them play thus far, and I've even been able to see them play games off-stream, I feel like it is kind of in the team DNA that they have to lean more so toward the objective to get the buffs that come with that moving forward. I just think that they're able to ride the momentum off of the objectives that they're able to secure in each of the games, and so I don't know why they would falter or move away from like that roadmap effectively.
Massive fight happening in the top lane. Miss Engineer getting the first solo kill of the game.
That is actually massive.
Oh, absolutely. And with Mordekaiser not having TP is going to give Miss Engineer a lot of time.
Marmalade.
But it looks like Marmalade is on the verge of death, just trying to escape. But their passive is going to allow them to get out of there.
My man just surfed away. that is insane.
Gotta love the rocks. And it looks like Amumu is starting to finally reset with 40 CS and 2 kills under his belt. He is going to be a monster for Albertus to deal with early.
Wow.
And Easy Breeze getting off a beautiful hook from across the map. But
Bacon just not there to pack that extra punch.
The issue is Yasuo's wind wall just stops the Jhin 4th shot, allowing Albertus to get the first kill on their side onto the Yasuo ADC. They're going to have to be careful moving forward. Yasuo may have the backpack champion, but it's still Yasuo.
Shakekeeper going to try to maybe just come and hover, but I would expect that Shakekeeper's there because of Ocean Drake, so they're going to try to create presence for that there.
Oh, absolutely. And it looks like Shadekeeper might be heading down for Yasuo here. I don't know if he wins the 1v1, but if Bacon can move up, absolutely. This might be the time for Drake with Talia being able to react soon and the enemy bot lane leaving. And it looks like they gave the CS to Bacon in hopes of having him carry again. And it looks like Easy Breeze is recalling, making sure there isn't a big fight at Dragon just yet. Top lane still being a brawl fest. It looks like Set is going for Bork first item to really punish the Mordekaiser. So we'll see how it goes. Kind of the aggressive tempo of this game has been completely higher than both of the previous games combined.
True. I think we set a 1 kill at the 10-minute mark
At
in game
both
number
games.
2. Well, game number 2 specifically, and Huckleberry just looking for a little bit more action here. And
it looks like the Master Yi is here. I'm not sure if Miss Engineer can get out of here, but Master Yi does not have ult just yet. If he can hold off until his W comes back.
oh my goodness.
No! So
Wow.
close to killing the Master Yi in the 1v2, but the Mordekaiser does kill him. And it looks like CEI is going on to Drake while Master Yi is in the top lane. Yasuo and Yumi are aware of this, and it looks like Albertus is not going to try and contest the game. Bit of an early smite from Shadekeeper could have been disastrous if Master Yi was there, but it looks like it will not be an issue as of yet. Currently, lane states are neutral, money-wise, and a little bit objective-wise, but we will see how this continues to develop. Bacon and Easy Breeze trying to establish dominance while they have the level 6 advantage.
And it's been first Drake to CEI in all 3 games. So that pattern continuing here. And again, I'm not shocked. Well, you asked me the question earlier, what do I think happens? And it is just that CEI continue to be very objective based. And they've been doing a much better job prioritizing that.
Engineer definitely fighting in the top lane for his life, trying to get the set down. I mean the Mordekaiser. W!
Oh.
It looks like the fight has stopped for a second, but both are definitely worse for wear, and neither have flash available after that fight. Whoever lanes... Oh, it looks like Miss Engineer is going to be the one that goes down here, but if you can get the E off,
maybe
Mordekaiser goes down. Maybe if his W comes back, he can fight the Master Yi. Shadekeeper coming in clutch.
Wow.
Saves Miss Engineer from the gank.
That's 3 kills off of a play like that coming from Shadekeeper.
Absolutely, he has been the savior of the top lane this game already, and it looks like they're going for Rift Herald to try and make sure that lead stays up there.
So almost, well, we're sitting at 1.6k right now, lead approaching potentially a 2k gold lead, and actually we're basically there.
Yep, and them taking Rift Herald, Mordekaiser is TP'd and Set still has his, so they have TP advantage as well. And it looks like Miss Engineer is going to try and punish them as much as possible, and they're going to go for these early plates top lane by the looks of it. But we will see. Top lane kind of just trying to get anything done. Mid lane being permanently pushed in. They have a little bit of a CS gap on the Nico, but other than that, nothing's really happening. And it looks like both junglers have left the top side and are transitioning mid. It looks like Miss Engineers. Oh, getting a really good hook off here. Shadekeeper trying to get the Nico. If he lands another hook, I'm pretty sure that Nico dies, but it looks like he's back there. Mordekaiser ulting Set and then backing away. Interesting strategy as he tries to poke out Set with Qs here, but nothing really happens with Set ults. But it looks like Miss Engineer is really making this Mordekaiser work for everything that is going on here. Master Yi bot lane. Miss Engineer might unironically try to tower dive here by themselves. It would be a very risky play, but it could prove useful, almost killing the Mordekaiser. Marmalade seeing the Nico in disguise. but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Mordekaiser leaves. This gives Miss Engineer the perfect opportunity for plates. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of disappointed in... I wouldn't say disappointed, but it's a little sad that Albertus' support has picked Yumi each game. I really feel like they could have more of an impact if they had a little bit more versatility, because it leaves all the engage into their mid lane, which is a real big problem for Yasuo, because he really needs someone to give him that opening to really dish out the damage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can understand comfort picks, but I can also understand that when that's all that you do, it's not a net positive for teams to only have one tricks on a team. I think early
one
on,
trick that doesn't have anything besides healing or shielding. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still useful from time to time, but in my opinion, CC is king.
Sure. Well, and that was one of the things that CEI looked to kind of rid their own team of, is not having the one tricks dominate their compositions, just because like it is just such a detriment, especially in a game where you have drafts and you can see that there are one tricks. And you know, I really respect CEI. Like, okay, pick Yumi. You know, like we don't mind. Like
we understand what you're going for. It looks like Bacon is going to be fighting Master Yi in bot lane. Bacon, I don't think gets out here, but it is. Unfortunately, Master Yi flashes to catch up.
Just a little too
Easy
late.
Breeze should escape, but Bacon just gets ran down, and it looks like Nico is. They're currently. The entire Albertus team is going for this Wind Drake. It looks like CEI is unable to really get that Drake lead they did in the previous game. But Miss Engineer is taking full advantage of the Mordekaiser being gone and taking tier 2 tower. I think they are going to have a rough time dealing with this set. Tier 2 tower gives another 600 gold to CEI, giving them a 4k gold lead. And it looks like it might just go to 4.5k if he can get a solid W off onto the Mordekaiser. He misses, unfortunately, but I don't think the Master Yi has any right to try and do what he is currently doing, as he just slowly goes after.
Wow!
Oh,
Almost.
come on. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser just barely escapes, but it looks like things will be just fine for CEI. They get a lot of pressure here. What a beautiful play by Miss Engineer, winning the 1v2. Almost getting both of them in the process.
Yeah, that... I love to see the confidence on the side of Miss Engineer. It seemed like that was absent for game number 1, so to have a bounce back game number 2 and to carry that into game number 3, Huckleberry is still trying to find the fight here against Miss Engineer, just trying to have things his way, and it's just not going his way.
He just got his first item, but I think he's trying to take advantage of the fact that Miss Engineer hasn't gotten that back yet. So at that point, they're kind of neutral items, but he still has that level up on him.
Well, and it looks like he is channeling now, so he might.
Yeah, so he's going to get his Merc Treads, and he's probably going to start going to Titanic or Stridebreaker. It looks like he's starting to go straight for his Stridebreaker. He's got his Iron Spike Whip and his Earthbound Axe. If Mordekaiser tries to step up, he is going to be in a route for Awakening, and Marmalade has finally gotten to the point where they're starting to dish out damage. Shadekeeper, not realizing he is on ward. But it looks like Master Yi is bot again. It seems like the Master Yi's focus has shifted from top lane to bot lane, knowing that is a doomed endeavor trying to help Mordekaiser at the moment. So Mordekaiser is taking his jungle camp as a way to supplement his income, his own little side hustle.
Yeah, sure. I mean, tough times. You gotta do what you gotta do.
But CEI is doing really well here. They already have a 5k gold lead in a 16-minute match. As long as, and again, knock on wood here, as long as they don't throw away their leads and they keep on CSing as well as they currently have been, especially with the amount of objective control they have, Albertus is going to be in quite a bit of trouble very shortly.
That's true. You know, kind of seemingly a little bit of a strategy heading into game number 3. in a way, they're just so much more aggressive, and we see that there.
Absolutely. They're definitely taking advantage of the fact that they have the backpack. But it looks like a double kill bot lane, and maybe even
3.
a triple if they can manage to get the Master Yi off of Bacon and hunt it down. Nautilus ulting, getting hit by Jin W. Master Yi. No way he lives here.
My goodness.
Triple kill in the bot lane, and then an absolute brawl fest in mid with Set and Amumu. They are probably going to try and take a tower here and immediately go on Mordekaiser. He is not allowed to play the game anymore, and Mordekaiser is going to kill Amumu, I assume.
Yep.
But it looks like Set is going to avenge his dead friend.
Maybe.
A rough W, but it looks like bare minimum. Talia might clean these up here. Looks like an ace on the side of CEI. However, Marmalade needs to get out of there. He had very low HP, but the gold lead just went from 5k to almost 7k there.
Yeah, that...
CEI absolutely being ruthless in these fights.
Yeah, just really well played on the trades. Just taking the opening and just ripping it wide open. I mean, they saw the opportunity onto the Yasuo, and that was in that first set of engagements there. And then once the Yasuo is down, it's just easy pickings as far as the Yuumi is concerned.
Oh, absolutely. But still, kudos to Albertus for at least getting a little bit out of that trade, considering how much they're behind on gold.
True.
But
Four turrets down, though.
4 turrets, and they only took 2 for 5. I mean, mind you, there was 2 shutdowns in that group, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. Especially with Drake coming out, I don't think it looks like Albertus is going to try and contest it, but I don't know if they have the power. But it looks like they're definitely going to try. But it looks like they have all 5 down, CEI level 5. Mordekaiser TPing, and they're definitely going to try and do all 5 here. And it looks like Marmalade's going to try and poke off and zone people
I love that there are layers to this entrapment. They have the 2 initially hiding in that small bush to kind of provide as like a decoy, and then Marmalade's still
Massive fights going off. Set W destroying the enemy Nico. Unfortunately, Set is down, and Master Yi is very much a threat. But for the most part, CEI is dominating the team fight with Bacon trying to kill Mordekaiser. Unfortunately, he does go down, but they do avenge him. Another 2 for 4 and an objective in favor of CEI.
Wow.
Gold leads still say 7k difference. They did make equal gold here, but if they get Chemtech Soul like they got Infernal Soul last game, Alberta's going to very much struggle, especially considering Marmalade is 6-0 again. Wow. Marmalade may have trolled a little bit in the first game, but they are definitely bringing it back.
He's been playing very well games 2 and 3. Just kudos across the board to all of CEI. They're just on a roll right now.
It seems like maybe the first game was just nerfs for CEI as they got just completely overwhelmed, and then they got their nerves got to them. But in this game, it is clear that they are confident and they want to win.
Yeah. So I don't know what the answer is necessarily. You know, the gold lead, we're approaching 8k at this point. I don't know. I just don't know.
Albertus is definitely going to struggle because they're in a very similar position to what CEI was in the first game, especially since CEI is starting to not necessarily snowball, but to do what's called death balling.
Sure.
Oh,
opportunity here.
Set W. He misses, and Master Yi does escape, but it looks like he's going to try and chase him down. Talia coming in to assist him.
Okay.
Come on,
opportunity.
CCM. Oh, beautiful. Barely survives thanks to Set W. Yasuo coming in. Nico's also
This could be an overextension as well on the side of Albertus.
Oh, absolutely. The Set going back in to try and save Bacon kills him. This might be a Set quadra kill. Almost pentakill with another ace fight for nothing.
Wow.
I don't think Albertus comes back from this.
Holy crap.
Because that is bare minimum 1 inhibitor, and they could probably do Baron if they felt like it.
Sorry, crack in the back, man.
But it looks like they're going for a second inhibitor, taking advantage of the fact that everyone's down for so long. They'll probably reset, go for Baron, and then just make that last push.
I don't know if they've stayed just a little too long. Maybe not.
Mordekaiser regretting every decision he has ever made coming here. And
Wow.
Bacon getting revenge for dying.
They might just stay.
I don't know. Bacon's pretty low. If he gets hit by much here, he will die. But Misengineer has, you know, that added benefit of taking. Okay, it looks like CEI is leaving.
Okay.
Thank God.
So
it looks like they're definitely taking serious advantage of the amount of gold.
Oh crap! That, you know, and it's not even a fact of wow. Misengineer could have had the ace. He needed Marmalade to be there to pick up that one kill so that he could continue onto that rampage.
Just ran into next opponent after next opponent, and CEI getting from those plays 3 items amongst the 5 characters.
Wow.
They are going to whoop.
A 14 kill lead and effectively an 11k gold lead. Wow.
Yeah, at best, Albertus has 2 items on the Mordekaiser. Their weakest member almost has 2 as the support. And then just
that's put things in perspective.
and even though items don't mean everything, even looking at the levels, Bacon's ahead 2, Easy Breeze is even, Marmalade's ahead 1, Shakekeeper's ahead 1, and Misengineer's ahead 2 levels. Like, as long as they keep CSing, and as long as they keep on forcing these fights that cause disadvantage to Albertus, I don't think they can come back, especially now that they have Baron buff, and they're about to get the next Drake, but they're probably just going to run it mid and kill their carries, because it looks like Marmalade's going in to try and zone them off from their escape route, but it looks like a little bit ineffective. But it does look like Albertus is very wary of what is going on here. CEI clearing out vision of the enemy red side jungle so they can secure this Drake. Albertus is going to be hard-pressed to find a solution to this situation. CEI will have to make some major mistakes in order for them to come back here.
I just love the confidence that CEI is playing with. It could have been easy, you know, get down game 1 just to be down and out for the remainder of the series, but they were able to find their confidence.
Back, yeah. You can see the calmness in their actions, because a lot of these plays you would expect someone like in a lot of these fights you see the Misengineer struggle and panic and be 1v2s, try and get panic kills, try and, you know, get weird escape routes, but they manage to just stick to their guns and force the opening open. And it looks like CEI will be going for mid, and 3 flashes have already been going in, and it looks like they're making some very dangerous plays. It looks like Misengineer is currently taken by Mordekaiser ult. I expect them to die, but they should kill the Mordekaiser in exchange.
Oh,
Bacon's getting
Shakekeeper.
targeted by Master Yi, but he's trying his best to survive.
No.
What a misplay on the side of CEI. Really forced the play when they didn't need to. I think Albertus got like 2.5k from the shutdowns there. Marmalade being the only survivor of that massacre.
Yeah, that was not very well.
They should have probably
executed.
They should have split their forces 0-3-2, so 0 top lane, 3 mid, and 2 bot. And their goal would be just to distract the enemy while they take out the tower's bot lane, so they can get even more of a gold advantage. But despite that, CEI just finished another 3 items for their team. Sek got his Spear of Shojin, Amumu got Sunfire, and Talia has their Rylai's. So even though they did lose that fight and Albertus got a lot of gold in exchange, and they finally started their 2nd items and are working on their 3rd, CEI is still really, really strong here, but they have to be careful about trying to force an early end.
I think so. I think that was just... I can appreciate the confidence, but that was just a moment of overconfidence.
A wee bit too hardy.
Yes. Just seeing red at that point in time when they should be seeing blue. And so, yeah.
Well, it looks like they're going to go ahead and focus on bot side to take care of those towers, because they're the last thing holding back the enemy base from being surrounded on all sides. and they definitely have the ability to take it, but they really do need to be careful about fighting here, as previously shown. So that's another tower taken. They're going to go for the last one by the looks of it. However, they do not have Shakekeeper here, and the enemy does have all their allies. So I think they should probably just start backing out here.
Yeah. Yep.
And it looks like they are going to, and they're just taking Master Yi's jungle. Master Yi is not going to get so many resources here. And it looks like, oh, very, very nice dismount off of his rock slide, his seismic slide on Marmalade's part to make sure he didn't get hit by the Mordekaiser E. Oh, and it looks like Mordekaiser is going into the Death Realm after getting E'd and ulted by Set, but it looks like this engineer trades with Mordekaiser in the Death Realm.
Okay. Well, interesting. That seemed like that was
4v4, but it looks like Master Yi is going down. I don't know if Albertus will be able to stop Bacon and Marmalade from taking at least the inhibitors, but maybe even starting some of the Nexus tower damage. However, if CEI still had that Baron buff, the cannon waves that are coming in might be really screwed. Easy Breeze with a really solid hook, managing to get the Master Yi down. And that's an ace on the side of CEI. They just need to wait for waves to show up, and they could probably end here. In the meantime, they are working on Inhibitor and shoving in these waves so that they can be able to end here. And it looks like they've got claimed another Inhibitor, working on Nexus towers. Easy Miss Engineer TPing in to join in the fight, claiming the last tower. All they need to do is make sure they don't lose this fight here, and they can end. And it looks like Master Yi is down. Miss Engineer is fighting Mordekaiser. If he gets a solid W off, that is a dead Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser leaves.
This is the W.
All they need to do is target the Nexus, and they should be able to end here. Bacon, shoot it. Shoot it, Bacon. One more auto attack. Beautiful work
really
on the
well
side
played.
of CEI. Looks like the tables got turned.
The turns tabled.
We got a technical reverse sweep.
Yes, we did. So that is game number 3 going the way of CEI, and that is going to be the series for CEI. They will see themselves move forward into the round of 4 or the semifinals to await